Welcome back, everybody. 8 o'clock, 19th of May. It's a Monday. We start the week as we mean to go on. There's not many weeks left in May, guys. Make them count. Tonight, going to be taking a little look at me scrambling under the desk. I'm going to be installing ComfyUI with Ollama, and we're going to be checking out 4GB models on my 4GB laptop. So that's going to be an interesting feature because we can get Quen, we can get a whole bunch of cool things for free running on our machine, and we're going to start looking at ComfyUI. Yay! So we're going to do like a little tutorial. We're going to boot that out straight away. ComfyUI stuff. We've got a whole bunch of new workflows, creative workflows taking advantage of the SVG nodes that we've been working on. And also the V4 of my Sharona illustration set is done. So these are the final results. As you can see, the character face is consistent. We've got people in the background. We've still got some weird stuff going on in the backgrounds, but this is the final process using the ArtGrid V2. Okay, so each of these images was actually created using the vector shapes. Hello, Fernicar, Battlecruiser operational. Liked and subscribed. Now, where were we? Hello, Kurt Curtis. Thank you for joining as always. And Dragon Diffusion. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could make it. So, like I said, we've got other people will show up, I'm sure. I'm looking at the wrong stream. I was sat here going, how have I got 72 views? We just started. Hang on a sec. Select stream. Well, yeah, it was looking at yesterday's stream. There we go. Hello, everyone. If you're watching live or if you're watching later, don't forget we've got a join description link in the description. Join link. So where was I? Yes, so looking at some of these, as you can see, the character is now fully consistent, posable, and placeable in a variety of different backgrounds. Now, these backgrounds are all coming out of the latest caption set. And this is the Epoch 9, which is the production version. Only thing is, I screwed up because it was late and I made a mistake and I said large spherical structures one too many times, and it has become mildly obsessed with large spherical structures. Now I've told you, you won't be able to unsee it. Look, that's a pumpkin. Why? Why is that a pumpkin? I don't know why there are giant metal pumpkins everywhere. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. So, there's, well, kind of. But yeah, the concept has infected the set. But that's okay, because I want to diversify the model anyway. The first version, she was always walking towards the camera. Where did the lipstick come out? I'm guessing it's the blood of her enemies. I don't know, but good question. But is this even really prehistoric times? Is it really? See, these people aren't canon. That man there is not canon. But yeah. Disco pumpkin balls. Yeah, there's pumpkins everywhere. There's metal pumpkins. Like, everywhere. Wait, what? I got two Sharonas. But yeah, so anyway, the concept is sound. It works great, and as I love showing these ones. These ones are my favorites, because you've got to remember, each image was made with this. It's truly something else. And the thing is, I haven't even scratched the surface, because I'm still using all, when I could just use spots or circles, or spots and circles and dots, and it will give you even more, because I'm all about bleeding more images out of your generations. And for some reason, this seems to work nicely. Yeah, it works nicely. It's quite interesting. Like this one here, yeah, number 11. Right, the original is this one. See what I mean? That's her. She's this little bit there in the middle. And then if we go to the upscale, you get that. That's the one with the head in the ground. So yeah. Looks like Zero Dawn, not Hyborian. Yeah, I know, but I'm using a trick to... basically, what I'm doing is I'm gaslighting the clip so that it brings in elements that I want to bring in associated with words, and then I'm retraining and retraining. So I'm sort of like, remember the blood and bone? I'm like, here's a ninja. And he's like, so he makes a ninja. And then I'm like, that's not a ninja. It's an astronaut. And so... you end up with a ninja-style astronaut that was originally blood and bone. It's like part of that evolution technique. So we've sculpted this, because I could go back in the outputs and go back to... shall we? I wonder if they're actually in here. Okay, I can only go back to V3 depth, but that's good enough. You can see there's a lot more difference. Different face, different haircut, different body shape. And these are probably quite consistent. We'd already got to V3 at this point. So I think it's a pretty good, like I said, the method works. It's been a lot of work. Let's see, 6th of May to the 19th of May. So I got more folders somewhere else. I had to empty it out. The gaslighting training method, yeah, where you tell it what it is and curate the wrong stuff out until it gets it right, damn it. And it just becomes more and more and more consistent as you continue training. Successive models. So yeah, like I said, I'm quite happy with it, because she's got good pose. It's not just the same pose, you know. She's not locked in the same pose, even though some of them don't make any sense. And it works. It's the character, because remember, it's just the character model. And also fun. It failed at Epoch 10. But I only needed Epoch 9, I got it, so I don't mind. But I think they refunded me. So, I guess V4 is free. Okay. So, a couple of things which I think could have made my life easier, right? I have to go through and edit the captions by hand, okay? You can't get around that. But because I did that, it meant that I could now use it as a control prompt model, which I did create, and that's what I've been making all the images with. So that means the control prompt has the image, the mask, the depth, the pose, the canny, and the prompt. I don't need the depth or the canny for this particular workflow, but it's a nice way to make sure that everything is in sync. So you are describing, you have a prompt to go with your image, mask, and pose. So then it all works. So yeah, and like I said, it's going through the art grid, makes the art grid, overlays the woman back over the top with the mask, puts the pose in here, and we do 12 steps at 0.7 denoise with image to image of the composition, including with ControlNet Shaka Labs Union. And then we do reactor with our pre-controlled, pre-trained face. We do reactor face swap, and then finally upscale however you like to upscale, 2x. Doesn't matter. I use mine, you can use whatever. And that's it. You can use mine. It's built into the workflow, of course. But yeah, And that's how we're making the images. And the nice thing about that is you end up with, well, let's build a workflow real quick. Because like I said, I'm doing this whole thing over here on the side. We'll get back to the other stuff. Hey, Dom, how's it going? Sunday is Drift and Dom Day in your neck of the woods. Sunday is Drift and Dom Day in your neck of the woods. Oh. Wait a minute. What, you mean this Sunday? This Sunday coming? I'll take the whole day off if that's the case. I've been trying to get up to see the guy, but I've been stuck with deadlines and I couldn't get away. I'm so glad you could join us, Dom. Appreciate it, mate. I'm going to have to hit you up on the old WhatsApp. I don't look at that app enough. If you're in my neck of the woods this weekend coming, it's a date, dude. We'll have to get a steak or a beer or something. If you're coming anywhere near close to me, it's got to happen because, like I said, I've been like umming and ahhing over the 4-hour drive just to shoot up. And then every day it's been like, we need to get this thing done today. I'll hit you up on WhatsApp, my guy. Okay, let's get on with building this workflow because, like I said, this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be one of the companion series. So I'm going to have to open up the ComfyUI. So just to give you a little background, what we've been doing, we've been using some Rife 49, and we're going to take those images, each stage, we're going to interpolate between the two, hold for like 16 frames, maybe 30 frames, depends what we want to do. Probably 16 is enough, I think. And we're going to go from 1 to 2 to 3, but then we're also going to create additional ones with labels. We'll interpolate and hold between each frame, and we're going to end up with a real nice animation. And I think I might even be able to shove some of those random ones in the middle. So this is going to be very innovative because it's all built with my own custom nodes. You can't do it without them, but you can download them because I'm nice like that. You can have them. I'm making more all the time. Now let's see how this... Oh, see, as soon as I try to do something else, that's one of the tricks, you know. If you're ever caught at a red light, start doing something else, but not like, you know, illegal. The lights will change. The law of the sod. Okay, so we're going to use this. Let's make a new one. Now, I believe I should start off from the one that we did yesterday, because that's a good starting point. It'll save us a lot of time. I think it's this one. Is it A to B loop? I feel like... No. It's this one. Animation loop. Ooh. That's not the one, but that's one of them. Pretty cool, right? It almost matches the music already. Very good, very good. And obviously it's been slowed down there with intent. That's the original speed. And we're filtering the shapes that are being made here as well. They're all being made on command. This version will make these squares. So it's a little bit different from the other version. I cooked this one up yesterday. ArtGrid V4. But no, we're not talking about that one. So it is this one. Yep, before after loop. Yeah. This one's got the title. Okay. But I got a better idea. So instead of going just like title grid in, well, this is going to be tricky, but I think it'll still work. So what we're going to do is we're going to mimic part of what I'm doing here, namely this bit, right? So if we just take some of the gubbins here real quick. Unfortunately, we're going to have to build out most of it. Unfortunately, that's what you came here for. So I'm going to cannibalize this basically, right? And something interesting I'm going to have to do, which is going to make sense, but it's going to look complicated. And I'm thinking about making a node to replace this too, but I'm going to make it like over here exploded to show what I'm talking about. So it's real simple. It's just loading in a bunch of stuff at the same time from different folders in sync. Yeah. So if I say image batch, let me get rid of this bit of paper. Keep scuffing. If I say load image batch by wasnode suite, as you can see here, this is basically all we need. It's going to load an index, which we can control with a primitive, right? Like so. So now we have like increment and random control. All right, but we actually need 2 of them. So obviously we want them to work with different paths. So normally I would make a second primitive for the path. Yeah, we don't need that one here. So we're going to say index. We want it on the same index, because no matter what, oh, don't tell me. Sometimes Comfy does this. I think it's the ID when you duplicate things is sometimes the same. So now it'll work. The reason it wouldn't work is because when I duplicated it, for some reason the ID was the same and it wouldn't let me connect to the same ID. Don't ask me. You just need to make a fresh one, and you will it will allow you to link it. Little tips. So like I said, if we go back to the gallery where all of those images were. So here's the E9 upscale, right? So if I say this one is the upscale, right, and then put the path for the upscale folder in there, and then we go back, and then we're going to get the overlay, right? Because remember, these were made in sequence, so they correspond in sequence. Now I think because the file names match, it would be better to throw them all into some kind of loader which is doing this automatically, you know, but that takes, you know, that's a bigger side quest. So if I just shove this one in here and call this overlay, and then we're going to want another one which is going to be called original. So load batch again, and we'll call this one original grid. Put that in there, and then obviously we're going to want to go to the original folder. Grab that. Now there are considerations with this. Obviously, if you've been like stopping and starting during your generations, then they won't match. But if you just did a whole run from start to finish and it processed every single image, the first is the first and the last is the last, you didn't cancel anything, provided there were no bugs, this will work, you know. But there is a consideration, obviously, if you cancelled the run, if there was a bug, if you had an image in here already, no, it won't hook up, it won't sync up. But we're going to prove that it does. So we're not just going to blast it like my qblast.dlls. Oh, damn. Looks like it didn't like me. Okay. All right. So we're going to obviously get some previews in here so that we can just make sure that this isn't broken. Okay. So, have I already got a massive... Yeah, I do, yeah. Let me just disable all that for a minute. Okay. So, run it. Uh-oh. Didn't like that, did it? Ah, originals. Didn't copyright. Okay, that's cool. And also 0 fixed. This shouldn't matter, but I'm going to fix it anyway and set it to 0 just to be sure, because I didn't write this node. I got my own version of it, but it does a couple of extra things that we don't need. Right, okay, just redo that one again, please. There we go, they match. 1, 2, 3. So what I want to do is I want to start like this, or something like start like this, interpolate to this, all right, and then finally interpolate to that. That's the rough idea. Okay, and then obviously you go to the next one and you get the next one. So yeah, right. So then I don't actually need to rebuild this. I was going to do it from the data set. Then I thought, nah, we'll use the assets we already have. Makes it much more efficient. Okay. Let's turn it back on. So SVG ArtGrid v3 allows you to put a little text layer in there, and it can be vertical or horizontal, and that gives me ideas, because I could be like, I could put the title across the back, and then I could put the title, oh wait, hang on, wait a minute, oh wait a minute, we can get even trickier. Wait a minute, I could use the original image to make a new art grid with a title in it. I'm just running through this in my head here. In fact, I'm going to write this down because this is going to be complicated and I don't want to just wing it. All right, so you start off with image, because then it will loop. End with image, start with image, right? Yeah, so we start with image, we go into the V3 with text on vertical. Let's keep it simple. Text on vertical, and then interpolate to you know, the one that I've already got, to original, and then go from the original, hold it for, you know, 15 or 16 or 8, whatever, a number of frames, hold for a number of frames, and then go into interpolation into the overlay image. Okay. And then do we want to go back to text? Because I could get a mask, I could make a mask from the original image and make sure that she's still on top even though, so then the background would interpolate to a title. I don't know, maybe we can add that in. The original idea was just to go from one to the next, but have a text layer in there. Be interesting because it will change. It will be like a shift. So, okay, I'm happy. I got a little plan here. Cool. Try not to inhale the coffee. Oh, oh boy. Episode 144, drowned in coffee. Right. So again, what this does is it makes an art grid, but it makes an art grid which is reserved area for vertical text, and it's using white text on a black background because I said so. Okay. So we're going to evolve this to use this. So let's just bring this in here. Okay. And so then instead of using that one, obviously I'm going to want to use this one, because that will basically make something that looks like that one anyway. So I probably want to get the guts here for the loop and pull it away because we're going to do something else. So, don't forget the thing. Right. So I'm going to gate everything, right? So I know, like, if you actually take a look at this, it's interesting, right? So this is a nice little solution that works for loads of stuff. So if we take a look here, my original grid, because it's a grid, it adds up to a perfect, you know what I mean, size determined by the rows and the cells. You see what I mean? So that is 1110 by 814. And then the overlay is 1216 by 896, because that's what she actually is. That's what actually went in there. You see what I mean? And then this one is an upscale. So this is double, right? So you have to conform your image sizes. So what I do is I pick one that I'm going to, you know, say, oh yeah, we're just going to use this as the lead. Do you know what I mean? This is like the lead image. And so you may as well just pick the biggest one. It doesn't matter, and I'll show you why. So say we pick the biggest image, yeah? This is now going to do a calculation for automatic aspect ratio divisible by 64. So it finds the closest aspect ratio to the image you put into it, but it puts out the numbers for width and height. So then what we do is we just take any image resize tool. There are many. I don't have a preference. Just use the one that works. And then we're going to obviously put that in there, and then width and height. Yeah. So now this is like a gate, like a dimension gate. Yeah. Anything that goes in there is going to come out the SDXL, because remember it's 1024 by 1024. So it's going to find that base. If you want to work at higher resolution, Cascade offers 2048 by 2048, and SD is obviously 512 by 512 if you want to go more efficient. Upscalers are really good. You should consider crushing your work to see how it comes out. But over crushing, obviously, we all know what happens, right? Okay. It may or may not be better if you don't know what happens. But you're doing it for speed usually when you crunch something down that far. I think SDXL is a nice trade-off at the moment in terms of speed and quality. So what we're going to do is we're going to make more of these. All right, I'm going to copy it and then Shift V it. So then what we're going to do is we're going to gate these images so that no matter what, they're all the same size in the end. You see? Right? Because you don't want mismatches when you're doing animation. You want everything to come out all nice and clean like. So I'm just going to drop this down like that, which will look a bit weird until I do the next thing, because we're kind of doing a little bit of a demo here while we're doing it. So just shove them there, and then yeah, you guessed it, we're going to hook them back up just to show that this did. Just let it run. Okay, so 12, 16, 8, 9, 6, 12, 16, 8, 9, 6, 12, 16, 8, 9, 6. Your beauty. So they're all coming out nice now. And that is the actual resolution. So we haven't really gained or lost anything. We're back to square one, which is what the original image was in the first place. So it's nice, okay? Now, when you're going to go through this thing, it's going to change the size because of the way it works. You put an image into it, and then it has to somehow make that work with squares. See what I mean? So it's never going to be the same, right? But when you resize it, it matches perfectly, so it's irrelevant. So as you can imagine, there's going to be another resize for this thing here as well, right? So we take the art grid, we take the vector raster, we take the image resize. Just kind of making space here. We're making a completely new workflow, so it doesn't even matter. The one up there is just kind of like, that's the old one. Okay, so at this point we're like, well, what's actually going in the art grid? And I already said it's going to be this guy. Yeah. So we're going to use this one to go in the art grid first. We've already got another art grid, right? But this one's going to make the title. So what I plan to do is show this one, morph it into the title, morph it back into that one so it has like an in-out, and then hold some frames and go into that one, hold some more frames, and if I'm lucky, with a bit of trickery, we'll make a nice loop out of it, and then you can just hit next, and it will do it again for the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And then there's going to be some more stuff we do after this workflow in post FX, and things like that. Okay, so this is going to make the initial art grid for us with the title, right? So we may as well just watch that actually work. You guessed it, we need to update the link just here so that we're all on the same page there. Okay, I think it's actually worth dropping this down. Yeah, put it there, it's fine. Oh, look at that, it's like it was made just for this guy. Okay, so if I just do that. Okay, that is in composition mode. Man, that doesn't look like a lot. 16 to 9. Something's going on here. Hang on. It's because it's not 16 to 9, is it? I wonder what that is. 4 to 5? It's mid-journey. Or is it? Looks like it's SDXL for sure. It just needs more rows, but I'm trying to figure out. Let's put it up to like 30 and 22, I think is what we were using at the time. That's a bit of an oversight, I forgot about that. Nothing like it, dude. Oh, okay, alright. It seems like it's using a different color palette, but I think that's actually going to serve me in the end. And that does look about right. I think that grid looks correct now. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Doesn't seem to follow it as well. Oh, hang on. Ah, there we go. See, I didn't have enough shapes. It's much better when you add them all in. Wait, what? Hang on a minute. That's a different image. What am I talking about? My bad. Completely different image. Doesn't look the same at all. I think this is the palette URL. Oh no, side quest. I need a palette maker. Do you know what I mean? I need image to palette so I can plug it into this. Damn. It's an oversight. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Alright, for now I'm not going to make it match. It can just do what it's done. I think it's using this palette here. What happens if I take the palette away? Will it crash or fall back? It's going to crash, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, it didn't crash. What do we reckon? Does it look like... What? What? What just happened? Huh. Oh, I'm over here now. Okay. Teleported. I wish I had the same seed, you know? Nah, it's not the same. It's not even close. Alright. Just double checking that it's all connected correctly. Yeah, it's not even close. Alright. So, I'll just give him his thing back. Where is he? Here he is. I'll give him his thing back. There you go, mate. I'd rather it use something reliable. Oh, that's a point. The palette index. It's on random at the moment. What if I want it to be consistent? Come on, then. Let's see it. That doesn't look like it's not using that either. What's it using? palette 3. I think I'll probably have to check the code on this one. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Okay. Alright. It's being a bit weird. Okay. So, where were we? So we've made ourselves our first frame, right? So I'm going to say first frame 30. Probably not 30, but yeah, sure. So we put that one in there. So it's going to hold that image. And then go into that image. And then it's going to go into this image. And then hold on this image. And then it's going to start with that image. And then it's going to interpolate to this image, where it will hold for some more frames on that image. We'll worry about the routing in a minute. Yeah. Okay. And then so it's holding on that image. So we need to then go into that image and finally hold it on that one. Hold it on that image, right there. Ooh. Wait a minute. Which one? This one? Yeah, this one. Yeah. And then at the very, very end, we go from the last image. Oh man, it won't let me do it. Okay, it must already be hooked up. Into this one. There. And then we just daisy chain all these guys, daisy chain all the A's. And rehook that one to there. And then what we're going to have is a batch problem, because there's going to be too many frames. So I'm actually going to take this down to like, because we've got 6 multiplier here. It's going to get 6, going to be 24. And then back down to 12. So everything's going to get doubled. So if I want it to hold for 1, I want it to hold for 2. So actually I need it to be 30. Damn. Alright, well, that's the way it goes. But do I want it to hold for 30? No, I don't. I want it to hold for like 1 on the early stuff, and it can hold for 30 on the last one. That makes much more sense. 15, 15, 15. And then 30 for the last one. Maybe even go like 60, actually. But I don't want it to blow up on the first go. So we'll keep it simple for the first run. But yeah, I think we're just about ready to rumble. Let's just check there's no fluff. Yeah, there's fluff hanging around. Look. Let's just sort of tidy this up a little bit. Got the chill out tune. Do you know what? I can do much better than this. I'm so lazy. Do it better, Johnson. No one's gonna notice, like, but I notice. Probably still crap, you know, when you actually finish, you take a look back and everything's crooked. You're like, ah. Or you don't care, I suppose. It's one of them things. Some people are like, turn the snap thing on. They'll be straight forever. And I'm like, yeah, it just seems like cheating. I'm supposed to have my own type of hell, you know? I do think we could do a lot better with like, because the layout, you know, it's like to make it easy to read. It's not like, it's not very clean. It takes all the time to actually line it all up and then just moves them all. Yeah, that's it, that's what it is. Oh no, we don't pin things by accident. We take advantage of the chill out tune to mess around with these nodes. Okay, come on. It's like, this is my Factorio. I'm having fun. Okay. Yeah, that's about the best place for it, really. Okay. Coffee. Okay. So we got our dimension gating system set up. We've got everything on a iterate. Okay, this is a demo of the basic output that you would get by just, you know, putting an image in. That's what you get, right? And we are now modifying this process by replacing it with something a little bit jazzier. Can pin it now. And what's this one going to be? Oof. Showcase loop. Once we're done. Is this V3? Yeah, it is. Showcase. Okay, it's currently on fixed. Let's make one and see if it explodes, because it may be that we have to use like an insane meta batch system, which I'd have to replace all of the loaders. So yeah, wish me luck, because let's see, how long is this going to be? Ooh, it's going to be, because let's just do the math, okay? So we got 15 and 6. So yeah, 15 and 6, so 30 and 12, right? 30 and 12, 1 minute and 15, right? So there's 1 minute and 15 there, and then we're gonna do 4x. So there's actually 4 minutes here. You see how it can get out of control really fast? Anyway, let's see. I think I must be getting that wrong, and I'm thinking about frames. Yeah, I'm thinking about frames. So whatever I thought then, it's 2 seconds. Yeah, I did the math wrong. Ooh. It's going to be 4 seconds at tops, I think. All right. That's obviously a mid-journey image from phase 1, part of the concept art section. You can tell by the fact that she's a cave girl and she's wearing headphones. Oh, looks like I'm going to get away with it. Yeah, it can't, yeah, I must have done the math wrong. I think I was reading seconds for frames. Yeah. Like, no. Divide by 30. Oh. Nice. Okay, that's all right. So we've got the scuffed, noise, follow, and then it, yeah. It's a different seed and palette for that first frame. But all of the other ones follow the image perfectly. So if I now put it on increment, yeah, put it on increment and then batch, like, I don't know, 30 of them. I don't even know if there are 30 of them in the folder. I probably didn't even do 30. Let's have a look. I did 32. Okay, cool. It should be fine then. I did 32. So, alright, that one is now going to start cooking. And like I said, what I recommend doing is when you get your music, you put the music for the slideshow to the beat, right? So then you can use audio reactive model to speed up and slow down this transition effect with the beat. It seems like the simplest play. And what you're going to end up with is a bunch of these, which will be loaded in sequence from a directory as little videos, and then synced up to the track as it's playing. And so then by batching that, when you put when you put it all back together again at the end, it'll all sync up. We should probably do stuff like that. I just like relying on the insides tools. They were so good I didn't need to bother making my own, you know what I mean? That's the truth on that one. But yeah, this is, like I said, it's an interesting technique because we're actually showcasing how the image was made here. It's not just a clever animation. That's actually how this image was made. The last image was made with these vector color shapes. And here comes the next one. Yeah, this is cool. I'm liking it. Because it's a bit of a portfolio animation, as it's showing... It's not showing all the work that went into it at all, but it's showing a fair portion. And now, of course, it's just going to it'll just keep playing that loop until the next one's made, and so on and so on. All right. Don't forget, we put up a whole bunch of new models yesterday. So if I take a look, is it still up? Civet? Where is it? It's on here somewhere. Hey, so we put out 3 new models yesterday. DJZ Venus, which is a new female outfits model. It's good at doing outfits. Bar Video, which was trained on the same dataset as Bar Project. The one is Flux, one is WAN. And then Tower, which is the initial concept art. So this is what I call the key art phase in concept for illustration of the Tower book series. So obviously this is all in aid of illustrating the Sharona book series, this being the titular character Sharona. So yeah, it's all for purpose, you know what I mean? I think these are quite eye-catching, and we're embracing. We're not going to be like, oh, was it done with? Yes, it was done with AI. Yes. Just be proud of it and lean into the wind, guys. So, you know, taking the opportunity to get something eye-catching. We got so many of these as well, by the way. These are just the most finished ones, but it's so funny. The reality is that if I did it with the other versions, you'd see the face change a lot more. But anyway, what this workflow does is it shows you how you can have 4 folders with 3 folders. 3 folders I bring down from the mountain, and you can load them all in sync like this. Okay, because of the way they were created, which is obviously, you know, in a batch. So you've got a big workflow like this. You've just batched 32, 64 into a folder using the project thing. And then because of the subfolder system, all of the assets, they're all got the same file numbers, they're file names. And then you can do stuff like this. Oh, it's a nice little effect. It works really nice. It's a bit like that denoising effect. It's inspired by Control-Alt-Art's ASCII to final image, where he made an ASCII art generator, which he then used to generate the image, I think, or he was going from the ASCII back to the source, I can't remember. But what we're actually doing here is we're going from shapes that were generated by an image, and then we're masking the person and putting her back over the top of that, and then we're doing control net and denoising the whole thing. So we genuinely do pass, you see the final image before it turns into a proper illustration? That one actually goes into image with the pose that matches and the prompt that matches. It's all the same thing. It's the control prompt system mixed with ArtGrid v3. So that means we get our scuffed title vertically down on that first intro. And with any luck, that first intro should be based on the image, even though it's a slightly different palette. It'll be the same palette for the intro card. And so then when you put them all together, I think it will thematically match up. Do you know what's funny? If you just scroll out, look, scroll out and look at the thumbnail on the screen. Check this out. You can see her there. Before she appears, you can see it. You can see it. It's a really good mosaic. Oh, wait, there she is. That's really cool. Dude, I love it. Can't see her. Oh. It's really nice. It's a nice introduction to what you can do with the tech. Do you know what I mean? Because there's all kinds of stuff you can do with this from here. But I think this is a sweet little setup, so we're going to put this one up. But yeah, like I said, that was fun. We do enjoy making workflows up here. 40. And export. Did I ask for 40 of those? Oh, well, I suppose I have got 32. Oh, yeah, 32. Yeah. So I'm going to make them all. Right, okay. So while it's making this, we can move on to the next tab and we can start making the next thing, which is the companion. So now we've got a bunch of video, obviously. Next thing to do is to build a companion for this. So companion. Because like I said, we've done the animation side of it, right? But I'm in the wrong place, aren't I, guys? Companion. Fast. Nah. I'll put that back to normal. There she is. With just bar audio, because we couldn't get the audio to work right, remember? Oh, that's the audio companion. Right, I need to fix that. Don't let me forget. Okay, we're back to normal. VidGen companion. Right, so let's find out where those videos are being put. They're not being put in folder, are they? Hold up. Where are they getting saved? No. No. Hello? Nope. Okay, here we go. We're back. Right, so where is this getting saved? Oh, guess who forgot to put a freaking... I even wrote it. It's even my own thing. Forgot to put it on there. So now the files are just going in the junk. I may as well stop the run, but... it's alright. I'll be able to pick them out. It's just annoying. So what should we call this one? I guess ArtGrid almost needs its own thing, doesn't it? I think they're all under SVG Suite. Let me just check. Output. Is there a folder called SVG Suite? Yeah, SVG Suite, all caps. Right. SVG Suite. Right, so they'll go in there then. And this will be... it's like a showcase. Oh, wait, that's not the right one. It's that one. Showcase. Did it again. So my finger doesn't even work. Showcase. DJZ. And then we want a project name. We want a project name. I need to really think about doing the thing I want to do. There we go. Stupid. Right. It's like shortcuts. Oh, looks like my brother's done for the day. Okay, so this one will be Sharona V4 R grid. R grid. Alright. I don't think there's anything else to save, is there? I mean, you could save that, but we're saving the video. I mean, yeah, let's just keep it simple, you know? Put it on there. It looks better. Right, save it again. And I guess this time it's going to get the coveted image version. There we go. Give it a rename. There we go. 1 and a 2. And chuck it in the inside line. Next question is, does SVG Suite even have the V3? Because, you know, it'd be nice if you could use the nodes, right? So let me just double check that. I think it does though. I think I've already done that yesterday. So yeah, we got V3 and V4. V4 was experimental. V6 I think got deleted because it didn't work. It never worked. It wasn't interesting. I think I did enough, you know. We've got 4 of these now, and I know that other people are also making their own versions of this, which are really cool, and I couldn't encourage it more. It's a nice way to collect, to control shapes, like color shapes, in a clean way. So it's quite interesting. It's crazy actually how good it works. It works almost too well actually, because it's good at lifting out detail in the background because of all of the shapes and the edges that are there. So it is actually using that final grid before the last transition. That is actually what's used. Ooh, see, actually it was broken there. I didn't even notice that. So the mask is a bit weird and it's cut her arm off. And it did something weird. Look at that. I just noticed this. Right. Isn't diffusion amazing? It just fixed it. Right. Don't worry about it, boss. I got this. I love how it relights her automatically as well. What? Bing. I swear it's fixing the hands as well. Is it fixing the hands? Yup. Fixes the hands too. Isn't that crazy? Check this out. This is like the most abstract thing I've ever done on the stream. Maybe. Work it out, guys. Wow. It's almost like a refiner. Alright. That was a winner. Winner. The workflow is up on the inside line. If you want to take a look and give it a spin, it's right there. I would recommend, though, that when you do the thing here, that you actually do the git clone. Where is it? Christ, there's no instructions. It's got instructions for everything but how to install it. So I include an install portable.bat, which you can use to install with Comfy Portable. Otherwise, you're stuck with the manager, basically. Because the thing is, what I found was that this version here has all the nodes, and the 1.0 that I released doesn't, and they won't let me push a new version. Change the 5 below 5 label. There's a 5 below 5 label? Oh, it's because I copied it from an old workflow. Sneaky. How many of them are wrong? See, that one's scuffed epoch. Yeah, we need to swap it out. We need to swap it out. Yeah. Because we actually changed. We are still both things. I haven't lost the other one or anything like that. But yeah, we need to be looking at the right address. We are the scuffed epoch and have been for some time now. Alright. Alright, just do another version. It's quicker. Version 60, just to change the web address. Oh! Hello. There's more. How is that not? We are the scuffed epoch. No. Apparently. Maybe. It's tricky, man. It's weird. You don't realise how much work goes into it until you're like, oh, I've got to change it. And you're like, wait, I need to change 400,000 links? And you go, oh, I'll just put a forwarder in. I'm quite a practical person. Okay, so there we go. So we will dunk those and delete the other ones. Boosh. There we go. All fixed. Until someone just, like, you know, drops one of my images in and just runs it off that, and then of course it's wrong. Whatever. You can't do anything about it. Ah, what? The flower completely changed. And look, the flower was marked with a red X. Isn't that cool? Red X, flower. Flower goes here. And then I guess it got really big because I said in the captions, I said a large flower. And originally it didn't say the size. It's quite a crazy technique, guys. Alright. Okay, so it's still just chugging away doing these animation loops. One thing I did think about was doing a new animation for my mid-show break. Yesterday I uploaded 5 below 5 as well. Yeah, do you know what? Today I actually got screwed over because one of the shorts came out as a normal video, even though it's a short, and it's like 5 seconds longer than a minute, so it just automatically said, well, even though this is a vertical video, I'm going to say it's normal video now. But then they do shorts longer than a minute, so I'm like, what the hell? What? So yeah, they kind of screwed me over there. I might just delete the video because, you know, it's not supposed to be in that section. So yeah, they kind of screwed me there. But yeah, they're screwing me over on the scheduling as well. They keep releasing videos on the wrong days. No. The mid-show animation's covered. We already got a good one. I like to call it coffee time. I was thinking about remaking it with Sharona in her environment. You know what I mean? Like, reprompt the new model to hold a sign. You know what I mean? I've got ControlNet for it. So we could have her hold a sign and then generate a bunch of images and then do the LTXD rotation again and just basically make another one, but it says something else this time. I don't know. Just a thought. So, when we come back in a few seconds, the machine is now working. I'm milking the coffee cow in the corner. But like, the next plan is vibe coding. I want to make a caption tool which displays the image and gives me access to the caption and maybe a bunch of functions, right? Because I get annoyed when I want to go through a data set. I know they already have these tools, guys. I know they already exist, but I want to vibe code my own, right? That's what we do here. So I don't want to be stealing other people's ideas or just just trying to get someone else's thing. We can just make our own thing. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. So we're gonna do that. Oh yeah, we do two things at once as well, because we can do that too. All right. We're gonna do an open web UI native install with UV at the same time. I'm back. Yo. So while this is running, because that's going to be a while, let's get some VS Code up in here. So I'm going to need 1 VS Code. I'm going to need 2 VS Codes. 1 is not enough. I'm going to go File, Open Folder. We're going to go into Tools. And we're going to say Open Web UI UV. We're going to use Olama for our bridge. So you've all used Olama by now, I hope. If you haven't, download it. So easy. Take that there. Now you might be thinking, well, how do you know how to do this, Johnson? It's all right, you know how to do it, but how do I do it? Well, don't worry, guys, I got you covered. In fact, the documentation over at Open Web UI is super good. Just go to Docs, and then we're going to go to installation with UV, and this is going to be the Python version. There's a reason I say UV. It's because it's super fast. Okay, it's 2 commands. No virtualization, no Docker. Okay, as far as I know, unless they're doing it sneakily in the background because it's so automated, right? But here we go. PowerShell, please. I have PowerShell, maybe. I'm going to do that one. And like I said, I'm just copying the 2 commands straight from there, from here. I'm going to copy this one next. I'm actually going to make a file called run web.ps1, which is like, you know, a PowerShell batch file, right? Uh-oh, something broke. This PowerShell's out of date, the latest thing. No, go away. It's out. Oh, go away. What? Go away. Everything's installed. Okay, I think I must have hit like a some kind of shortcut. But anyway, like I said, it made it look more complicated than it was. So essentially what you've got is you've got that first command we pasted in. It installs UV and UVX. Everything's installed. Good times. Put the next one in. And then it's going to get busy. So I'm going to save that and close it. And then it's going to do everything it needs to do. So now we can do what I want to do. Which is open a folder and go down to tools. Where's tools? Make a new one, and I'm going to call it caption preview. No, dataset preview. Dataset curator. Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I need to find out what happens. Hold up. I have ideas and I'm like, is that already a thing? Captioneer for Premiere. Captioneer AE scripts for Premiere, $100. So it's not the same thing at all. I don't care. Cool. It's Captioneer, guys. We're calling it Captioneer now. Not because there's already a You know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with Premiere. Okay. So my basic concept, we're going to say here, a plan.txt, right? And then in the plan, I'm going to take that starter thing, which I put in the inside line a couple of days ago, which is, oh, I'm going to actually, let's do this one for fun. So we are we are wait before we think hard about planning a, I love this, it's so good. Watch this. We are it feels trolly in a way. We are wait before we think hard about pre-planning, hang on, I need to just slightly modify it to writing a single file HTML using HTML style, so Tailwind style CSS, chart, Alpine, font awesome, CDN, okay? Which will, and then we'll say load a data set, image and text files with matching file names from a folder, from a user-defined folder, yeah, or user-defined path to folder. Yeah, that's good. Show a preview of the current image and display the text in the matched paired text file. Display the text in an editable area below the image. This is going to be great. Do I have to like threaten him with getting fired? Oh, I think we're done, guys. I think we're done. So at this point, let's just get switch. We just got to go straight back over to the Open Web UI install. It's actually done, I think. It's complaining a lot about not having a special hugging face. Isn't that sweet? Now, it might be that I was supposed to run this in Administrator, but I think it's fine. All right, cool. So now I think we just go to port 8000. So again, don't need to remember. It's on the wiki. So once you have connected, you can connect. Come on, surely they tell you how to do it. No. Getting started. Quick start. Accessing the web UI is localhost. I'm sure it's 8000 actually for Python. It should tell you that. Here we go. So localhost 8080. Hey. Now remember, this is a local account that you're creating here. A local account. Even though I do have one. So I'm going to say my name is L Derifto. Okay. And then it goes. Alright. What's new? We're in. First thing you're going to want to do when you get in is click on your name, go to settings, and just make sure that the Olama bridge is there, right? So, if I remember right, I think it's just in... No. Where is it? Admin settings, connections. Yeah, here we go. Admin settings, connections. So you can see Olama API is on, and the API connection has a port number here. So if you changed your port number, you need to change it to that one. And if I go to Olama, if I get Olama opened, hopefully it doesn't need to immediately update and close itself. And that means we can go save. Wait, I'm not putting in an OpenAI thing. Go away. I'm fine. Go away, I'm fine. Take me back. Take me back. Do I just need to press escape a couple times? No. Oh, they've changed it. Hang on. How do I get out of this stupid menu? There's no X. How about I just do it that way? Seems a bit weird. There's no button for that, but I'm okay with it. Okay. So we've got all kinds of different stuff in here, etc. There we go. Look, Quen 3, 8 billion, Q8. So there we go. There's all my local models, right? So now I've got Quen 3, DeepSeek R1, Llama 3.2 Vision, various other quantizations of DeepSeek and Quen. Yeah. Hey, Control-Alt-R, welcome to the stream. So glad you could make it. So, like I said, we just took you through what I think is actually the easiest way to get OpenWebUI running now. And it is literally 2 commands, okay? And, you know, if you're used to the WebUI stuff, let's see, can we find it again? Installation with UV. That's Docker Swarm. Come on, my guys. Get out of there. Anyway. So yeah, it's the easiest installation I've found so far. It's literally 2 commands. You paste the first one to get ready, and then you paste the second one to install and run it. And then once you close it, you just run this one again and open it comes. The beautiful thing about UVX is every time you run it, it'll make sure it's up to date. It's actually a beautiful system. None of this messing around, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm sure you can still break it and need to mess around, but for a no-hassle sort of, it's not one click, but it's actually better than one click in my opinion. Anyway, once you're in here, we're going to be taking a little bit more of a focus on what you want to do once you're in here, but here we go. Give me some ideas. What 5 creative things I could do with my kids' art? Are you kidding me? That's a terrible thing to say. But we're going to see what happens. Is it still cooking video? Yeah, it is. I think I might have just cooked my computer. I should probably not do this, because I'm using Comfy at the same time as a quantized Quen. And this is probably like 12 gigabytes. It's probably a bad idea, guys. Oh. How many more has it got to go? 6 more to go? It's having a great time doing this, though. Looking at the chat, someone needs to explain what all the funny colour blobs are in this chat, as I cannot make head or tail of them. Funny colour blobs in the chat? I don't even see them. I'm guessing they're emojis. I don't know. Oh, look at him go, guys. Isn't that cool? So here are 5 creative and clutter-free ways to repurpose your kids' art instead of throwing it in the bin or burning it. Wall of Memories gallery. Turning art into functional decor. Growing art timeline scrapbook. Upcycle into eco-friendly crafts. Digitize and share. So there it is. The emoji things, I don't see them. I don't see any emojis. Clearly my chat is not in date. Okay. So show a preview of the current image. Going back to the other thing, caption here. And somebody said as well, handy caption. Good name. We are wait before we think hard. That one. So load a data set, image and text files with matching file names from a user-defined path to folder. Show a preview of the current image and display the text of the paired text file in an editable area below the image. We can include next and previous buttons to step through the dataset pairs. We can include a save button to update the text file once it has been edited, if needed, Wait, don't tell him that. Now, I think that's a good place to start. Now, obviously, other things. See, whenever I'm editing captions, right, usually I'll be removing the same string of text every time. So it would be nice to be able to say, listen, I've just identified something in a caption. I want you to just remove that or swap it for something else in the whole set. So it'd be like a find and replace tool, basically, a bulk find and replace tool, but with a UI. So you can be editing a caption and say, this has got nothing to do with sci-fi. I've decided to change the word sci-fi to nature, for example, because it's going to work in this context, right? And then I can just hit the button and it'll just do it for the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? You know, maybe there's like an option to back up before, when you open it up, maybe, yeah, that's a good idea. Hang on a sec. When a data set is loaded, it will automatically back up the data set to a zip file in an original, yeah. In fact, say source. Yeah, source. In a source folder. Okay. So you can roll back. That's all. It's just so you've got to roll back. If it completely splatoons your captions, you've got a oopsie. Yeah. But the idea would be it's just editing the text files. It didn't touch the images. Back up the dataset to a zip file. Uh-oh. Oh, it's run out. Cool. It's finished. No more concerns. Cool. And like I said, this is like a new technique that we've come up with. It's not a new technique. It's an old technique that we've just repurposed, okay? We are genuinely... This isn't just an effect either. We are genuinely putting that image in to get this image. So the last image you see is generated with the image you see before it. Yeah? So this image was made with this image. And a control net of the open pose at the end. Okay? And the image itself is one of the dataset images from the LoRa, which is being used to generate. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like an infinite loop. It's like an infinite feedback loop. It needed it was its own grandparent. Okay? But it makes sense. But I'm just trying to draw attention to the fact that we've got complete control over this vector noise arrangement here. I don't know why there's a giant pumpkin. That's my fault. I didn't eliminate the pumpkins from the captions, okay? I started saying stuff like large mechanical or spherical object and stuff, and it was 4 AM, guys. I'll just redo it. So anyway. Oh. Yeah, so that batch has run out because there is no number 34 in there. So that's the end of that run. But that's good though, because that means we can move on to the next phase, which we already had ready. Where is it? He says, where is it? VidGen companion. Here it is. Here he is. So yeah, we're just doing the third thing. We like spin plates around here, basically, right? Okay, so it wasn't getting saved to a folder. So it's in here somewhere. Hey, 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 found him. Okay, copy them out. Showcase. Art grid. Okay. We're back. Back in the room. What the hell is this? Upload one at a time? You crazy? Well, actually, do you know what? Look, I use batches all the time. Yeah? Because it's quicker, right? Because once you put a bit of extra time in and you automate it, but we've only actually got 15 here, yeah? So just for the sake of this, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to do it like by hand. Because yeah. I could use my thing, but whatever. It's like, there's only 14 of them essentially, right? I'll just do it by hand. Ooh, okay. So some of these, hang on a minute. That means it only did, the rest of them are in a different folder. Okay. So that was all testing stuff. This one's quite funny, actually. I did it with the, you know, like the test, the comfy test image, just to sort of, you know, show the new node was working. It's kind of cool. But actually, these are not what we're looking for. So let's just sort that out. Let's cancel that for now. Let's see, icons. Take that out. Put him back. Back we go. Right there. See, they look like mosaics, you know? If you zoom out on them enough, you can actually see the picture, which is kind of funny. So it looks like but I changed the folder. I don't remember. It shouldn't have. Where the hell did it save them? There must be more in that folder. Yes. Yes, there must be more of them. Oh, okay. I think I found them. Okay, so there's yeah, there's a few more than 14. So it looks like change of plans. We're going to make a batch again because I'm lazy. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, do you know what? Oh no, I've already done it. See, the time saving. Sometimes the time saving is like not necessary. It's like, oh, you saved 3 seconds. Not a big deal. Paste them in there. How many do we have now? 31. Ah, it's not bad. 31's not bad. Okay. We want to refresh. So what are we doing? We're going from 38 to 68. Okay. Just go with the first one. We can have a little bit of fun with it. So what do we got? We got cathode ray effect. It's pretty good. It's pretty standard. I'd probably put like film grain in there as well. Maybe a VHS on there as well, just for fun. Oh, that's image film grain. That's not my one. Ah, there we go. V2 video. That's the one. And we'll go with unstable signal. And I think I'm using a custom here already. I think I'm going to go take it down a bit though, just a touch. Put that onto there, put that onto there. Get rid of that. Okay, let's see what the first frame is going to look like with that setup. We've got 204 frames to play with. Yeah, you are correct, Fernicar. It probably would. Maybe we should run them both and see what happens. He's talking about the interview, Tins 2.0. I reckon it's probably time we put them to the test. And to be honest, let me just shut this down because I'm not going to go into this. So, I mean, it works. It was two commands and it works. Congratulations, guys. No more Docker. So that was why I was trying to show that off. Which means that now we can have a race or a test. We can do a test. Let's do a test. So we'll put... okay, so I'm going to call it Captioneer Tins. Yeah? Yes. Okay. Now, if I go to folder and say tins, and this is going to be like a vibe coding race. But there's two conditions to the race. Number one, the software needs to pass the finish line, as in it has to be created and look like a race car. Number two, it has to beat the other guy. Do you know what I mean? You got to beat the other guy, but you have to finish. So it's sort of like you could get a do not finish situation, which is not good, but it should be interesting either way. So I got on the right, I've got my traditional way of doing stuff, and then on the left we're going to have the Tins guided interview, and then we'll use the MCP to build the app, whereas this one will be built in the traditional way, like how we normally do, right? Okay, the difference is that it gives you a shareable recipe which you can go away and make in the normal way or with the Tins MCP, depending on whether or not you actually have access to that. Both ways actually work. I tried to make life easier with the MCP, but it could probably be better. So let's just double check our plan here. Let's get this out of the way, it's distracting. Oh, that's right, I was looking for my documents. Where are the developer documents? Do you know what? I think I'll probably steal them from a different project. Caption Tins, Quentin's. No, that's not it. Tins Forge. Best practices, developer guide, and where's the last thing? I think he's changed them all. Specification? I think that's what it was. Let's just check it's not been rewritten. Zero source, zero source, zero source. Yeah, it's zero source, guys. There is no source.com. It's one of my little spin-off things I do. It's like a private research thing I do. It's fun. It really is. But yeah, like I say, ignore the Tins Forge for now. That's the spoilers in development. So right now what we've got is we've got two things. We've got the guidance for how to write a Tins README, which can be written as software from simply one file, the readme.md. And then on the right, we have the normal way of doing things. They're both going to be using Klein. They're both going to be using Claude 3.7 thinking with like, it's like 2048, 2024. I don't think you can have 48. No, you can't. Oh, it's different again now. I can't change it again. Okay, 29 now. It's like the slider's changed. You can't. Hang on, I got a super sensitive mouse. Hang on. Yeah, they've changed it. You can't. There's literally no, there's no gradation there. All right, cool. So like I said, we're going to wait. Wait before we think hard about pre-planning, writing a single file HTML using Tailwind, blah, blah, blah. It's a dataset tool, right? Now this is a good basic starting point, yeah? So I am going to recreate this file over this side, because we are going to be as scientific as possible. All right, save that. Okay, so I hope you can agree it's the same. I don't think I can get, anyway, whatever. Let's get on with it, yeah? So we're going to say, please carry out, please, plus, we can carry out the app plan. Alright. And then over this side, we can carry out the plan with a slight change. So I get to say read at Tins, which contains the guidelines, and then also ask me questions in ask me questions, interview format, use the answers to refine the plan. Yeah. Now, you could say additional things like write this into an MD document, plan2.md, which you could then use in another round. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, we're just going to build it up like that. We're not going to do that. Ask me questions to refine the plan before writing the readme, what was it? Before TINS format readme.md. Now let's see if we're being fair over this side. We can carry out the plan. Now we're going to be waiting hard before pre-planning for both of them. So I'm kind of trying to cover it, but you know what I mean? Because I appreciate that, oh, well, clearly this one won't be. No, not necessarily. This one might be actually fine. So, 3, 2, 1, go. It's 21:35. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so this guy, yeah, we've got 2 plans. So on the left, I'll help you conduct an interview to refine the plan and create the TINS format readme. Based on the plan.txt and TINS documentation, I need to gather more information to create a comprehensive readme that follows zero source specification. Zero source has no license, by the way. It doesn't even need one because there's no source code. I hope you, if you want to know more, thereisnosource.com. We have an MCP on GitHub. You can go ahead. You can have fun with it, play with it. It's like a 3D printer for software for the home, beyond open source. What is the primary purpose of the captioning application? Who's the intended audience and what problem are you trying to write? So before I start doing the interview, I'm going to let this guy cook because this guy isn't going to ask me as much. So he's still asking me some questions. The funny thing about this, I started doing this Q&A interview format thing a few months back. I've noticed that it's being adopted. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you think about it. So what image file formats should be supported? I'm going to say 1 JPEG, PNG, even though it should actually just be PNG. I'm just going to say PNG, actually. Screw it. It's like, just keep it simple. Dot text is the only one. 3, how should the file selection work? File dialog, drag and drop, or both? File dialog. I don't want drag and drop. Dialogue you. 4, should the application remember the last open dataset between sessions? No. 5, for backup functionality, how should backup zips be named? Original folder name plus appended time stamp. Yes. Yeah, that'll do. If you're making them every 5 seconds, then slow down. Or fork the code and put the extra timestamp number in, whatever. Should there be a limit to the number of backups created? No limit to backup count. I'm just going to say user will manage. Because the user will manage. Are there any specific UI requirements? Layout preferences, dark mode, light mode, dark mode. Yeah, dark mode, yeah. I want dark mode and nitro. How should the application handle errors? Missing files, unreadable images. Skip. Skip the pair with a warning, a log, a pop-up. Skip the pair. Just skip. We can make it fancy later. All right. Okay, he's in. Hey, full dive. If I didn't say hello, and I did, and I forgot, I'm sorry. I'm like blazing fast right now. But welcome again. Same goes to everybody that's just lurking and doesn't really talk much. Do appreciate you. So, let's do this side now. So then, what is the primary purpose of this captioning application? Who is the intended audience? So I'm going to say researchers and artists refining image pair based data sets for image training with generative text to image models. That's the question number 1. I love it. Look, Klein has a question. It literally used like an API to do it. This is so cool. So could you provide more details about the data set? He's asking me the same questions, but see how it's not like just an impersonal list? Oh, wow. Look at that. Hold up. App container, header, title, footer, preview panel, current image info, text editor, area, stats, save, navigation, status. Interesting. This might actually go to Electron if it works really nice. We'll see. Let's close that down. Right, we need to let this side catch up so it's got a fair start. I want to put them both on act at the same time. It's like, you know, they could both be taking completely different pathways, but it's still going to be fun. Okay. So, could you provide more details about the dataset format? Okay, so images are in 8-bit.png. Text files are in .text format. And then pairing is determined by matching file names. Was it? Matching file names. There you go. There's no metadata. It's literally just matching. Sometimes there is a JSON or another format, TOML. There's a bunch of formats which are used, but the most basic and the most universal is simply a text and an image with the same file name. And the first line of text, and the only line that matters is the first line of text, and that would describe said image it's paired with. What specific UI elements and layout would you prefer? For example, should the image preview be centered? Okay, image preview should be centered. Set nerd. See, my fingers move too quick, guys. That's my trouble. It's a timing issue. Should image preview be centered? Take up a specific amount of screen space? I would say at least half the screen space. It's probably like 60-40 to the image is probably what you would think. But then what if it's a long caption? So maybe 60-40 to the image? Let's just say half. Half the screen space should display the image, because I guess you got to account for it being tall or wide as well. Yeah, be cool if you would like automatically put the text to the left if it's tall and put it under if it's wide, but these are like little, that's like flair. You could definitely do that. Image preview should be centered half the screen. Yeah, let's make a new line for that. Half the screen space should display the image. No zoom capability. This tool is focused on the text editing, but it is convenient because you like to display, like, say it says there are 4 people in the background and there's no one in the background, you can easily see that that's bogus and you can get rid of it, right? And I appreciate, like I said, I've seen these tools, they're easy to make, so I'm hoping this isn't something too complicated for it to figure out. Should end up with a website tool. or a website tool, which is like the UI, and then you develop it into Electron, and that should actually work like a portable exe. Or at least that's how it's been working so far. But someone keeps telling me try PyQt, and I have done. I haven't figured out how to make it do like really rich UIs yet, though. I might not do that though, because some frameworks don't. I'm just not experienced with it enough yet. Just gotta juggle it more, drop some balls, pick them up, keep going. That's all it is. No zoom capability. This tool is focused on the text editing, but it is convenient to have. Well, in fact, I'm not going to say that. Just say tools, text. Yeah, text editing. Are there any requirements of formatting word count or other features? Word count would be useful because you can get a rough idea of how many tokens. You can't really get an accurate token count, but a word count is better than nothing. A word count. A word count would be. Yeah, we can add the word count. I never asked for that. What a great idea. To the UI to show the current word count for the loaded text file in the editor. Next. There's a couple of things he's already picked up on that the other method hasn't. I would have had to remember it. Like, sure, I could remember to say in here, oh yeah, add the word count display. I could do that. But the point is that this is actually gonna do it for me. He's gonna ask me like a human would, you know? So it's like the reason that we have like big meetings and plan everything like with lots of people isn't because we like to all sit around a table. It's because it's the most efficient way for everyone to chip in and go, oh, did you think of this? Did you think of that? Or maybe you could do it like this, maybe you could do it like that. Did you remember this? And the chances are, between all of you, you'll remember 6 times more things than you had forgot on your own. So it's like you end up with a more complete plan through the interview. Because you already know what all the answers are, they just weren't off the top of your head, you know? For the automatic backup feature, should it create a timestamped backup, allow for multiple, or overwrite the previous? And what exactly should be included? It's multiple backups. Multiple backups. I'm on the wrong side. Multiple backups include the loaded dataset captions only, not the images, to save space. Because we're only editing captions, not images, so we only need to back up the captions. Therefore, you don't have like a gigabyte. It's probably like a meg or two. Yes. I'm just going to say that. That's good enough. What navigation and file management? So how should users select dataset folder? Should there be a file or browser or a path? We can have both the file browser and the path selection. Yeah. Do you want to display a list of all available image text pairs? Like an index, so you could skip through them. Yes. We can add an index of available text pairs into a scrolling window or dialogue? I don't even know. Or dialogue to quickly navigate around the dataset in addition to the next and back buttons. Okay. Would you like sorting or filtering? No, we got to do them all. Okay, so like I said, it's going to eventually ask me, do you want to add a bunch of Hey, what's that? You already know what the answers are. It's not on the top of your head. Sounds like LLM tech to me, says Vernicar. Dragon is having Weetabix. I hope you brought some for everyone. And then Fernicar says, maybe caption using the visual model ByteDance Seed 15 VL. Yeah, I do want to use Seed 15 VL. I think it would fit really well with this project as well. The only issue is this project right now is a curator's tool. It's not supposed to do any captioning. But I can see what you're saying. Like, it would be possible to, like, just caption part of it. I did actually do this last night. So I didn't say caption this image for me. What I said was describe the pose and location. Okay, and so what it did was it only gave me the second half of the description because I didn't need him to describe the person again. That's part of that's part of the caption route because her outfit and everything is the same in every prompt. So I don't need him to tell me 20 different types of shorts when it's only one type of shorts. You know, that kind of thing. So it's like that will cut down a lot of variety just like that. But anyway, let's get this done. So what additional text editing features would be valuable? Text formatting, autocomplete, character word limit, spell checking, support for special characters. None of those things. Really, it's find replace, which is what you need. But that would go across the entire set. So that's like an additional feature that I would add in like a version 2 when I have everything else, like the basics, stable. Autocomplete is interesting because you could use like a Grok API or something. Spell checking is also interesting. I'm just going to say no. No, not for now. But it's interesting to, you know what I mean? This gives me ideas. Sometimes when I'm doing the interview, I'm writing it down like, oh, you can do that, can you? Okay, I'll write that down and make... Because sometimes he's like giving the game away. He's going, oh, did you know I can do this? I can do that. I can do this. Do you want me to do this? And so some of it I keep in a text so I can just copy it into other projects and be like, yeah, why don't you try doing it with this one? And he can. Usually you just forgot to ask. That's what it usually is. Yeah, you're like walking out of the McDonald's with no sauce in your burger going, oh, it's a bit dry. It's because you had to ask for ketchup. You know, it's not, there's no set menu, is there? You have to literally specify every little piece. How should the app handle missing images and text files? Should there be notifications? Okay. User notification for missing file warning, then skip to next entry. Successful edit is saved. Caption backup is complete after loading. What information should be displayed about the currently loaded dataset? Number of pairs, current position. Yes. What information should be displayed about that? Display the folder name for the current dataset and the total number of pairs and the current position in the dataset in 0000 format, you know? What is it like? Do you know what? I'll just let him figure it out. I don't want to be too crazy. Current position. In a prominent location in the UI design. So that'll be a good one. Yeah, overtime, ladies and gents. We ain't done. We're going to keep going. You know how it is. We do 100 beats from 833. That's going out to the old school. So, like, what? 100 beats? What are you talking about? I'm talking about Swatch. Here, let me show you. I come with references because vibe code enables us to do sorcery, and we can make anything we want. We haven't even started using the 3D printers. So we start the show at 833 beats, and we go on for 100 beats. No lies. No lies. Okay, so we got another, what, that 16 beats left. I love how cheesy it is. Like, you're just using arbitrary units of time, just using dead units of time. I love it. Okay, color scheme, dark mode. Dark mode, minimalist. Yep. Specific icons or visual elements. I mean, yeah, sure. I'll just say visual elements for navigation. You see, it's like he asks you, do you want dinner? And I'm like, yes, I want dinner. What would you like for dinner? I'm like, I would like dinner for dinner. And he's like, okay. He goes to cook it. So you never really asked for anything. Visual elements for navigation. That'll do. Responsive design. Yeah. We need responsive design. Yeah. We need responsive design. Just in case, yeah, for resizing. Yeah. Compatibility with user window. Make it sound really professional. Window resizing, guys. It's important to me here at Scuffed Epoch Development. It's very important. The most important thing is window resizing. If you can't do that, you need to start again. Expected dataset sizes. No. Browser capacity. No. Limited. No. I think we're at the end of the interview, surely. See, he's really more in depth. You know what I mean? When you actually say, give me an interview. I appreciate I could have said that on this side, but I wanted to be the contrast. This is the TINS 2.0 sort of standard prompt. You have a plan, but it's going to make a README, though. It's going to make a README, not the app. That's the funny thing about what we're doing on the left. And then you can make the README in the normal way, or with the MCP, which is what we'll do. Are we still asking questions? What should the application be named? Okay, this one's going to be named Captioneer Tins. Whoa, okay, right, so let's read the other plan before we start carrying on here, okay? So, having a look at the standard vibe coding approach, right? What we've got is we have Captioneer, single HTML. We looked at the workflow there, so file access, directory selection, scan for PNG and matching text files, create pairs on matching file names, skip invalid pairs, delete next buttons, keep display current position, keyboard shortcuts. Ooh, I forgot about keyboard shortcuts. Display PNG image, responsive sizing with max dimensions, basic image information, dimensions and file name. Didn't ask for that, but that's okay. I mean, should we give the right hand side a little bit of steering? Shall I correct this side a little bit? I feel like we're like ready to go now, so I don't know. I just want to be fair, you know what I mean? It's pretty fair, I think. Editable text area, character word count, save button to update, auto save option, create zip backup. Name format is this. Store the source. Now this is actually going to back up the entire thing, even the images. He doesn't know this. I think that's something that yeah, that is something that I would correct, because it's like that's a huge difference. So 5, the zip backup. The zip backup is only archiving the text files, not the images. Okay, this is to save space. And because we do not edit the images. Yeah, this is a text editing tool. Is there anything else in there that's worth changing? I don't think there was. There was something else, wasn't there? What was it? What was it? There was something else that I missed. Oh yeah, no, it was the other way around, wasn't it? UI, UX, dark mode, tailwind, responsive layout, loading indicators. I'm going to use tailwind, JZip for zip. Functions. Okay, data structure. Okay, that's user interface. Yeah, he's going to make the HTML first, then make the guts, then the loading, then the UI, then the editing. As strangely he does that last. You'd think you'd do that before all of that, but it's cool. Oh, we got the polish phase to look forward to. Okay, so there's nothing else I really want to change. I just want to make sure that that's the same. That's the only thing that stuck out. Because like I said, it is, to be fair, the standard, you know, shortcuts. Oh, what, left and right? I mean, I could add them on the left. I could add the left and right shortcuts here over here, but... Whoa, what the... What the... He's lost his formatting. Revised backup system. Blah 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 blah. Oh right, it's a broken mermaid. Right, there's supposed to be a drawable splitters. What's that? What's a drawable splitter? All right. Anyway, guys, it's 10 o'clock. It's time to take the safety off. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna make sure we got money on the tokens because we're like double barrel shotgun right now. Nice. What will win? I mean, it's funny, it's like define winning. Because the funny thing is, this guy is only making a readme.md. He hasn't even started making the app yet. But this guy is making the app. Ah, it's alright, I got $16. It's more than enough. In case you're wondering, the cost is at the top of the screen there. So 23 cents on the right, 14 cents on the left. I think I just got my lefts and right mixed up. Oh yeah, font size, true. You'll want a way to zoom in on the text. I think that's what he meant. Remember, he said, I don't want to zoom in on the text. And it's like, actually, you probably do, you idiot. You probably do want to zoom in on the text, because what if it's really small? Oh, stop. Right, I got to stop him because MCPs don't understand paths that are relative. They have to have a proper full path. Okay. The path to the readme.md for use with the TINS MCP is... He needs to be given the full path. If he uses a relative path or an @ or anything like that, he won't find it. He still might not find it. There we go. Now he can find it. Oh, functionality section is missing subsections. Technical implementation is missing detailed stuff. So now he's going to generate from README. Oh, generated application code. Okay, he's making right. TINS is making the app on the left. We're still making the HTML file on the right. It's getting tense. Run the command. It's just going to bring a basic HTML, CSS, and main.js across. That's all it does. When it copies the app. He's still just trying to find it. Look, he still can't find it. Are you all right, mate? Approve. So he's now going to do testing. He's going to test. I'll let him do it. Look, it's pretty cool. He's going to now test his own app. Right, so this guy's having trouble with commands. He's lost. Tin's got lost. He made the app and then he can't find it. Yeah, try that. There you go, you found it. Oh my god, it's not 666 bytes. Oh my god, it's actually cursed. It has a length of 666, everybody. This means it's going to be either the best piece of software or the worst piece of software. Generate from README. He's off. He's going to try again. Meanwhile, on the right, I don't know. Whoa, okay, we're still moving. We're still moving. Okay. So we're making the HTML file over on the right, the left even. Yeah, they're both, there we go. So Tins is actually catching up, even though he had a bit of a stop-start. The plan will be much more high quality, but there's more chances for it to break. What I need to do, I think, is actually write like a cheat sheet on how to automatically update dependencies. Because a lot of the time you get a warning. It says, you can't use version 4. You have to use version 9. And it's not smart enough to just change the number to a 9. You have to do it. And we've always known about this. It's nothing new, right? The dependencies are usually out because when the model was trained, a lot of stuff deprecated in between when it was trained and when you're using it, yeah? So that's what it is. And if you just look up the thing, it'll tell you, oh, we're on version 9 now. A famous one is Glob. Okay, AI will try to install Glob. What's the other thing? In-flight, you've got to use LRU cache. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. And it gives you the warning. But you have to do a little bit of legwork at the moment because it's not quite smart enough to go out and find out and then come, oh, I should be using the newer version. Because they're only now really getting that that ability to deep search, as they call it now. They keep calling it deep search. Oh. Is he finished? Oh, okay, we got a web test going on the left. Our web dev is... Okay, that looks cool. I don't remember what the one on here. What did this one look like? Do you remember? It looked like this. Looks a bit like Gradio. I do like that though. It's kind of cool. Oh, but it's got a source error. So he's broken. I've noticed there's an error. Failed to handle source directory due to security Right. Security restrictions won't matter because we're not actually making a web page. We're just using the HTML code to style the app a little bit nicer. That's all. Because you can do that, right? We can use all this tailwind and everything just to make a cool looking UI, right? So how are we doing over here? Are we still... So see, this one actually looks a little bit nicer. See this on the left? You can't really see it. Right, I think we're going to have to open them up. Even though they're still working right now. What's he doing? Oh, he's waiting for approval as well. Hang on, guys. They're like in web development land. Look, you can just about make out those thumbnails. I will open them up fully in a sec. Oh! Well, vibe coding's done. He's finished. So he wins on speed, maybe. Come on. Step 9. Step 2. Let me close the browser. I've implemented. He's reporting. Is he going to win? This one looks way nicer, though. What's he doing? Look at him. He's testing it. Go on, mate. Go on, then. I bet he generated a fake data set just to test it. So we're going to test the vibe code on the right, non-tins. What do you mean you don't know how to open? Right, give me a sec. It's being ridiculous. You don't know how to do... I don't know what that command is. How dare you open a web page? Okay, right, here we go. So this is the one for the right. Let's have a look at the one for the left. Can we duplicate this? Oi. Come on. That's interesting, isn't it? The left is much nicer, isn't it? The one on the right looks a bit like a Gradio. But don't you think it's interesting though? Because like I said, we did it with vibe coding on the right and it does look like vibe coding, yeah? Let me just, look, I got loads of data sets. Give me 2 seconds, we can just pull one out. Here, I think that's, yeah, that's a data set. Yeah, view. What the hell, why is it opening again? Oh, it's saying, where can I save this? Okay, so fine. So we'll say, test, caption here. This will be the backup, won't it? It's going to back it up. Back it up. Go in there, select. Edit files, yep. Backup is done. Okay, so here it is. We have our person. And lit from above, thingy. These are already good captions, but how about I say with dark orange? Ruin my data set. It's alright, I got it backed up. Well, of course, it backed it up anyway, first thing it did. So, as you can see here, we got the size of the image, the name of the file name, we got the number of count, the word count, and the character count. Save changes. Okay, so that should now be orange. And let's see, next. So yeah, it works. It works. The only thing to check is, of course, did it actually save that change? So first of all, there's the backup. Inside of it there's no pictures, so it's only small. Okay, this is all good so far. Then we go into tower, and it should say orange skin. There it is, dark orange skin. Beautiful. So that works. That's a win. Okay, so the one on the right works fine. 100%. Okay, so now let's check out the tins version. And remember, the difference, like I said before I get into this, the difference is the tins version was made from a README rather than developing the app. So this one, we just made the app straight, normal. This one, we did like a little interview and made a README first. So I just want to show you the README. So as you can see, this is the README that you'd put on your GitHub. Oh yeah, sorry, Control plus. That's too big. I hope that's big enough, guys. We close this. And yeah, he's finished. So let me close that as well. Right, there we go. So you get this beautiful README, which you don't get with the other one. Yeah, the other one you just get the HTML, that's it. And the beauty is this was built with an MCP. So if you installed the MCP on your end and then I gave you the README file, all you have to do is say use tens MCP to make this README file into software, right? And off it goes. And then you will get the same functionality that I have. It might look a bit different, but the code is all different, right? Which is very good for security. And also the beauty is you didn't actually distribute any code at all. It's zero source distribution. That's why I called it thereisnosource.com. But enough of that. Now we're going to find out it doesn't bloody work, right? Let's go. So let's load up, enter dataset path. Okay, so we're going to do the same dataset. Science, We open it. We say yes. It's creating a backup. So where did it back it up? That's the first question. The other one, it needed permission. Maybe I already gave it permission because it was a Windows browser thing and they're both Chrome. So I'll let it off there. I do like the way it's set out. I like this a little bit better, but load. It looks better, but does it work? I don't think it works. This one doesn't work. Here's what? There's no source? Yeah, there's no source. It doesn't bloody work either. Hang on a minute. This was going to require a quick prompt. I like this better because it has other things which are good. But I think that there's some placeholder code in here. Because look, it's saying 10, 10, 10. I don't think it loaded the dataset. Yes. Load. Creating a backup. Next. Previous. Save. Saved. Yeah, this has gone rogue. All right, let's find out what's wrong with it. Go in here. No, not in there. There. Go in here. Go into the chat. Here we go. Right. So what the dilly? The UI is completed. However, the functions are incomplete. We cannot load the dataset, and no image or text is displayed. You just asked for a UI and you got one. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. I did. I asked for a UI and I got one. Do you know why? I think it's because I was going to do all of the app development in Electron anyway. Yeah. Because remember... Well, the other one works, though. Let's be fair. The vibe coding version worked in the website first time. Do you know what I mean? So, just be fair. But, yeah, you are not wrong. I did actually not ask. Yeah, I asked for a UI and I got one. You're very... Yeah. Fernicar, placeholder is a thing is in tins. We need to fix it. Yeah, the reason is because he uses placeholder content like a scaffold so that the code won't error out. And then I think he forgets that he was supposed to actually replace that with working code as part of the process. Because he does kind of like go over the same area again and again. And you can see him doing it now. And he kind of knows which bits need to be rewritten. And I've had that before as well. Like the most famous one is when you're doing Electron apps, you have to have an icon. And he's got like 15 tricks for making icons without you needing to give one. He'll like generate them with code or whatever, SVG to ping, that kind of stuff. And the funny thing about it is that when he does it, sometimes he just makes a file with 0 bytes and just calls it icon.png. And of course that fails, doesn't it? Because when you go to build, Electron can't sign a 0 bytes icon. And so I just don't know. I just think it's kind of funny. Sometimes he destroys himself. No image loaded. He can't. He must have created himself a fake dataset. No. See what I mean? He's simulating stuff. Right, hang on. Let's give it a reload and see how it looks. No, yeah. Reload. Well, no image loaded. It's what? It's in the middle. What? I'm starting to feel like that guy from the freaking Vibe Code shorts right now. in the middle, half the size of the smaller. This guy. Okay, so yeah, it's working now, which is cool, but the image is breaking out of its display frame. So plan. The images and text are now loading. However, the preview image should scale to its window pane and not overflow into the text box area. Please fix. All right. Other than that, look at that. See, the other one doesn't have that. Yeah, so this is nice. One thing I don't see is stats. I'm guessing that they're... Oh, there you go. Word count 48. It does have it. So we've got the index. We've got the next. Hell yeah. Like a little bit of singularity. As seen previously on my laptop a few streams back. So we've got save for when we edit it. So I like this one because it's got a lot of screen space. I could put in a bunch of tools like find and replace up top, and it could pop open a little window. It says, oh, what are you looking for? And then it will replace across the whole data set. That's what I'm looking for. This is really just the basics. So this is actually pretty good though, I'm not gonna lie. This came out real good for a first shot. One shot. That came out good and it works. Came out good, works. I like the side by side. It's almost like a book, the way it's set out here. It's kind of nice. And look, don't need to worry about the zoom and stuff. You can really go for it if you want. The only thing this doesn't have is like the index. You can't like skip across them. Dynamic horizontal splitter based on the image. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, that's a good idea. And yeah, bad seed motto. You're exactly correct, Fernicar. But yeah, auto layout swap horivert. That's what I'd call it. Horivert mode, mate. What's that mean? It does it by itself. It does it by itself. I like this. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't bad. This is really good, actually. You know, it's like, it's difficult to take away from it because, like, it's got good spacing. It looks very professional. And also, this is a pure website. I think you could actually run this. I could put this on the website. Give us a minute. All right. Okay, so we go back and we go new folder. We say Captioneer, and we find this wherever this is. Captioneer. There it is. Reveal. Like that, and then just rename it index. And done. There's obviously security stuff, but you could just download the page. Get rid of that. And then we can go to scuffed. Captioneer. There we go. So technically, possibly, depending on your security browser, because obviously it's able to edit files on your computer, right? So then that would be why you wouldn't want to, you know what I mean? But, you can read the source code, no tricks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a stealthy little black hat guy, right? That's not how we operate. So yeah, like I said, this is done in a way, you know, the normal version. It took about the same amount of time, actually. I reckon it's comparable. Wasn't really much difference. I would say that mine's probably got more detail. I like the simple look of this side, though. It's kind of a hard one to judge. Wait. What's it saying? Image preview is not constrained. Right, cool. But what I'll do is I'll include the tins in the thing. So here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Full transparency mode. So what we'll do is we'll go to new repo, and we will call it Captioneer. And I'll just say caption tools, right? And then we're gonna get fancy, right? So I want to have a folder called web, which contains the basic one. Where is it? So we'll say web and say repo 140 something. I don't even know. It's probably more than that. Chuck that in there. Go in. So you got web in there. And did I close the other one already? Like hastily? Yeah, probably. Nice. Put the backup in the dataset. I like it. Go for the captioneer, get the index.html, and then back into the tins version, like that. And then we'll get tins, and we'll put the tins readme. I think that's the tins readme, yeah. Yeah, it is. Put the tins readme in tins, like that. Get them, put them up on there. So straight away, they go up there. So you got both, you know what I mean? That's basically the result. That was the result of the original, and then this is the README, and then I'm going to keep developing that one. Because one of them works pure web. I think the other one will look better in Electron. So, it's like a preference, isn't it? It doesn't really matter. Right, in the end, they were basically on par. It's hard to make an argument against. Because look, there's actually nothing there. This is the funny thing. There's actually nothing there yet. Okay. And so the next thing, of course, is to make a dev folder into which I will put the plan and the captioneer themselves. And then what I like to do with the art, no, that's dev. I also do an arch where I'll put 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, just like zipping up the project as you hit milestones and then chucking them in there makes it easier to go back. People say, oh, why don't you use automation and to check in and all that? Yeah. It's just saving a couple of files. I like to do things myself sometimes just because I know what happened with it, all right? How many times have you had an autosave not work? And then you're like, oh, but the autosave was on. And it didn't. So I learned the hard way, just do it yourself. It's not that difficult. Control S. Let's go. So obviously we've got our captioneer, right? So let's see what it actually looks like right now. Okay, looks like he's put it in there. Do you reckon it's like going to stretch the image this time? Let's find out. Barman. We'll do a different data set. Yep, view. Yep, save. Okay. No arrow keys. You have to actually click it. Oh. Why is it not letting me go next again? Previous one. Ooh, that's not good. Look at that. Wait a minute. Okay. The next button doesn't work. You got more problems. Reject. Plan. The image, what's it? The image is now loading correctly. However, the next button does not function. Function after page, after item 2. Good times, man. Just keep smashing that drum. See, really, I'm trying to get to the next stage. But I need everything to be like... If you can't really call it white boxing. But like, I need the prototype to be functional. At the point when as soon as the prototype is functional, then I'll be like, okay, let's make this into Electron now. It's very simple to do, but it pays dividends to actually make sure it's working before you do that. Because otherwise you're like writing an exe app from broken code, so that's never a good idea. Like, you know, it's one thing breaking it in the process of turning it into an application. It's another thing trying to develop broken code into an application. You can actually do it though. The AI will do it. It just costs more money because you'll be there prompting all these things you have to fix. And there's more code, so it takes longer and more tokens. So try and get everything working early, and you know, it's not like, oh, it won't go wrong. It probably still will go wrong, but trying to reduce the hair pulling is always nice. Another thing as well, a lot of people were asking about how the hell you do CDN Tailwind as an Electron app. Well, the answer is you dump Tailwind to a file. It sounds crazy. It's like, you're dumping the CDN to file, and then yeah, it's not very big. It's a small file. The CSS file's tiny, you know, and yeah, you can totally pack that. So that, you know, you can offline the CDN because it is just a file. You know, it's not like a server that has to be up all the time. It's just a file at the other end. Let's have a look here. What's he doing? I'm actually going to not let him do it because I need to do it. Right, so we open a data set. View them. Okay, it's creating a backup. Created the backup. Wait for that to go away. Oh no! Next button don't work. I can still use that. Right. You bastard. Okay, so the next and previous buttons are not functioning. We can add the left arrow and right arrow keys to be used as shortcuts for previous page and next page respectively. That's fun. He knows what I mean, right? Horivert. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about Horivert. I got it written down. It's like auto aspect display. Add a global event listener. Map arrow, yeah. Debunk the things. To be honest, if the buttons work, if left and right arrows work, you don't actually need them on the screen. But I see no reason why it can't do next and back. You know what I mean? Like, what? You can't do next and back? Come on, man. Yeah, you can. Alright. How are we doing over on the other side of things? I could have sworn we were doing stuff. Oh, yeah, that's right. So we had our input. And the first image looks like, oh, dude, that looks so good. Ah, dude, that looks so good. Right, I'm sold. How many do I have? I've just got the one. 204 frames. I think it'll be fine. It's only 1216. Fast video interlaced 4. Do I really want to do that one? And it's on ×4 right now. I don't think that's right. I think we'll just do 2. It'll be here all night. And then what else is happening? What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the hell? Why have I got... The hell am I insane? Interleaved upscaler. That's for images. And it requires an upscale model. Yeah. Just get rid of that. It's the V2 I want anyway. Yeah, I'll compare them. No. Just get it done. Yeah, that looks super cool. Very nice. You probably can't tell as much from the the compression tends to like denoise when we're doing stuff like this, but hopefully it comes out the other end looking good. Yeah, the chroma is visible. Yeah, it's gonna do an RGB on it. I just hope it's not too much. Where's the video? What? Okay, I gotta go and get it myself because we don't do previews no more. Output. Oh my goodness. What? It should be in. It should be in VidGen. Eh? It hasn't updated itself. What? DJZ companion, yeah. What? What's going on? It's not working. Something's busted. What happened? Oh, nuts. Do you know what I've done? I thought it was going suspiciously fast. I was like, why are you still going? I only made one video. It's currently on... divide it into 32 batches mode because I had a giant job running the other day and I forgot to mute. So it actually... It turned the 204. Does that even divide? I don't think that even divides. Ugh. Okay, so yeah, maybe we don't even get a video out of this. I've disabled the batch man now. I mean, look, you do it like this, it'll run on a laptop, because obviously it's very small bits, but it takes 32 goes to make, yeah. Do you know what, I'm just going to cancel it and do it again without the thing, because, yeah. It's, I can't wait. It's like the amount of in-out time just actually makes it slower. Okay, right, so while we wait for that one, I've already released this. You've already got this. I released this as well, I think. Didn't I? Showcase loop. Let's check. Inside line. Showcase loop. Yep, it's up. The nodes are out. The SVG suite's out. The only thing I can think of is there was a problem with Zenkai Control Prompt version 2. The one which has the whitelist. Some file names that have underscores can break the logic that searches for the file name pairs, right? So I made a new version of that, which I'll probably push tomorrow. You know, unless you had this happen, you probably wouldn't have even noticed. But yeah, it happens when you literally just take a ComfyUI file name and then use that as the dataset file name. So then you've got like comfy underscore 0001, comfy underscore 0002, you know, .png, and that looks the same. You know what I mean? It's the same numbering system as what's used in, you know. It's the same numbering system. So obviously the script picks it up and goes. It's pixelated because it's squashed, guys. But yeah. Isn't that funny how it does slightly change her a little bit when it does the last thing? It does the lighting, it fixes the edges, sometimes it changes the clothing, sometimes it fixes the mask, sometimes it makes the hands a bit better. It's quite an interesting thing. I think that what happens is the shapes are making it able to put all of its attention onto the high frequency detail, because think about it, there's no or very little high frequency detail in the image because it's just a bunch of geometric color shapes, okay? So like it's got a low density. It's low density when you're talking about the high frequency details. But then when you're talking about the low frequency details, it's so diverse, but also clamped to a specific palette. And I think all of that somehow goes together to juice the weights. And we've been over it a bunch of times. Is this about to crash? I think maybe I should have split it into two. Oh, it's the upscaler. Of course it's the upscaler. I just want to get one of them out. If I can get one out, I can batch it. If not, I'll batch the batch and then I'll queue it. But that's all I need. That's the last thing I got to do tonight. Speaking about that Zenkai fix, I've got it on the other screen, but my mouse is like screwed. See, this fast upscale is nice, but I actually think that my interlaced V2 is more stable. Because I wanted one that could get me to 4K in record time, and it does do that. But I don't think because remember, I think the last time I was using this workflow was the hyperscaling workflow when we were going for like 15 to 30K. And you'd have to print it on like, what was it? You had to print it on a 9x9 of A3 or A2, 9x9 of A2. And that's like a proper billboard poster there. Wow, it's not like a giant one. It's just a poster. It's just a big poster. Man, he's having a lot of trouble right now with this last thing. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we took a little look at the UV installation of OpenWebUI tonight. We're going to be looking a little bit more at that. I think it's going to be an essential tool for Writers Club over the next couple of weeks, because obviously if you've been following the live, you'll know that the last week or two, all we've been doing is building up image and video models for the illustration of the stories that we wrote last month. As that's now coming to an end, what I'm hoping to do is start making covers. It'll be cover art for novelizations first, and then we'll take more time over graphic novels and other, you know, it's like a sliding scale. All text, all images, and then you've got like a sliding scale of media in between. I do also want to start doing the serialization soon. I'm thinking about using Substack for that. So that the idea there would be to release a chapter every day from a different story, and then rotate around until those books have been fully published. So, but obviously this is all like gearing up for the final polish phase as we go to print, and obviously the links will just get added in with all the rest of them. Like, it's something you should definitely think about, even if it's just an art book, you know. Like, this upscaler is pants. The other one would have been done by now. Bruh. I'm about to close it, even though it's taken this long. Oh, see, just as I'm running out of patience, you see. Never give up. Never surrender. It hasn't crashed yet, damn it. Well, I'm going to go home and play with my OpenWebUI, because like I said, I've already got Quen quantized. We're going to do some 4 GB fun in OpenWebUI tonight for research myself. When the video combine is this slow, you have to wonder what I just did. What have I done? It's now 24,000 by 1792, so we're approaching 2K. There are 409 frames. 409 frames. 409 divided by 60 is... it's about 7 seconds. That's not bad though. 7-second animation, and all we really had was like 1 image. Really? Not really, like 3, but they were all made in one workflow, you know what I mean? So we made the 3 images in one workflow, we loaded those 3 images in another workflow, made a video animation with that, and then we end up with a 2K 8-second animation, and that's per image. So if I had 32 images in the first place, it's 32 times 8 seconds. So what's that, a 4-minute showcase? That's not bad. Put some music to it. Hello, hello, hello. Dudes. What do you think? It's all noised up nice. So the only thing I would say is that the interpolation is a bit robotic, because it's all the same. It's the same. Everything's the same. There's no Fibonacci in the speeds of the, you know, you haven't got any fractal variation. There's nothing in there. It's just hard. Everything is the same. Hold for this much, interpolate for this much. You know what I mean? So obviously there's finesse you can do there with the fuzzy numbers alone, right? But the reason I don't do that, the reason I make it like this, so it's like dun, dun, dun. It's on a beat. It's doing something on a beat, right? And then what you do is you sync this up to the music, or you run this through with music. And then it, you know what I mean? So it's intended, I make it on a it's on a cadence timing to itself, right? So the frames are all like the numbers, you know? It's like 6, 12, 24. Everything's on the beat, right? So as long as you match this to audio or use an AI to match it to audio, it will just, and it'll go through with the song, and you don't have to worry about the editing. Is basically automatic. That's the idea anyway. But yeah, this is looking really nice. If I zoom in too far, you can see the RGB, and you can see the glow as well, and you can see the noise, which is like, these are the things I like to do. I like to do these things that's my polish, that's my finisher. I'll obviously post this one up in the inside line, or rather in the video gallery, I should say, so that you can take a look at that in a bit more detail. So there it is. If you want to check that one out, nodes are already up. Damn. Yeah, I love it when a plan comes together, guys. Like I said, when we first started doing this, it was just abstract shapes in a grid. I was like, I like the look of that. And now it's ended up turning into a custom vector shape based noise injection, or latent, whatever. We gave it a vectorized latent. Not really. You can just make it up. That's beautiful. All right. It worked. It took a while, but it worked. I do wonder what my V2 looks like, though. I swear interleaved is... Yeah, it's not interleaved. It's interlaced. It's interlaced, guys. Yes. I've got to know. Is that due diligence again? I've got to know if this one is better, worse, slower, faster, whatever. I need to know. I will not sleep. Advanced by Cubic Bob. Temporal radius 2, edge enhancement 3. So this has got a couple extra features that one doesn't have. This one here is it's just fast, and it saves memory with batch size and things like that. But in fact, that's a point. I should have put it on batch size 4 or something. What an idiot. Anyway, we've got temporal radius on this one. So I'm gonna go nuts. Let's do it again. Oh, that's fun. Change the directory on me. What? How did it get that as the PNG? Oh, it must have been like building it or something. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, so we already did RIFE 4 and to 60 frames per second, didn't we? Yes. And we're loading it here at 30 frames per second. It doesn't seem to have changed the playback speed, though. Hang on a minute. we're loading a 60 frames per second video at 30. Okay, and then we're saving it at 60. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to figure that out in my head. That breaks my brain a little bit. So we've got 60 frames per second video. We're loading it at 30 and then saving it at 60. Huh? That breaks my brain. Sorry, guys. I can do infinite loops all day, but that's like... What? Right, we're going to turn that on and say 102, because that is half the total frames. So cut the job in half. Because we're then into low... Okay, so I'm taking a... This is actually an interesting trick which we've done here, but it's like it breaks your brain to think about a little bit. So we had a 60 frames per second video coming in here, yeah? And the 60 frames per second video is loaded at 30 frames per second, doubling the length of the video and slowing it down. We then do interpolation 2, taking it back up to 60 frames per second essentially. So then we've slowed it down, but then we've kept the 60 FPS. But what that means is we're dropping frames. We can't be dropping frames. We got to load it in at 60. God damn it. And now it's 409 frames. Yeah, this is more like it. I was wondering about that. So, okay, that's more like it. I was going to say it's basically the same as doing skip N2, which I don't want to do. I don't want to do skip 2. We had to work hard to generate all those frames. We probably don't need the Rife though. We've already done it. Do you know what I mean? We've already done the interpolation. See, the video generation stuff, we haven't done the Rife yet. But for this, we've already done a buttload of Rife. We don't need to do any more. So we just go 60 to 60 straight. 102. It should work. Alright. So we had to change things up a little bit. And this blew up. This blew up. It was too much memory. But that's good though. There's a chance it's working harder. A chance. I only said a chance. Okay. How are we doing on the other side of things? What are we doing over here? He's still trying to... Oh, we already tested it, didn't we? Didn't we? Didn't we? Ah, yes, and it was working, but the buttons weren't working. That was what it was. So, let's see if the buttons are working now. Okay. No. Arrows. The arrows work, but the buttons don't. Isn't that funny? The buttons don't work, but the... That's so incredibly scuffed. The click event for button. Nope. But it does work though. Okay. What a sausage. Where is he? Here he is. Okay. Plan. The arrow keys are working for page navigation, but the next page, well, the next button, well, both of them, they're both scuffed. next previous buttons are not working. What surprises me about this is that when you learn to do app development, dragging a button into the canvas and then doing like document event on click URL is like the simplest code in the universe. So I don't know what he's done to make it so difficult. I don't know what he's done to make it so difficult. Surely it's just a DOM on click event. And he's like, I can't do it, boss. That's strange. Yeah, the navigation methods call the same functions. So this is what I thought's happened, right? So we've got an event which is making the next page happen, right? And we've got an arrow key shortcut that works, and then we've got a button that doesn't work, and they're using the same. They call the same functions. I want to have a look now. He's got me. Now you've got me curious. What did you do? Next pair button. Look. Disabled can go forward. Can go forward. So in other words, that's so that when you get to the end, you can't go forward again. I got an idea. Okay. I noticed that the next pair is disabled when can go forward. Okay. We can consider a workaround which loops the last item to the first item, so there is never so the list is endless in a loop. The button will never need to be prevented from working, as we can go from the last image to the first image. Or, I'm going to type it all out again, guys. From the last image to the first image. I just said it the same, didn't I? From the first image to the last image. There. And then you don't need logic Boolean crap to stop the button working when there's no page left, because we can just go back to the start and get rid of this stuff. It prevents users from getting stuck. Yes. Wrap around, yeah, exactly. We just make it wrap around, because I think the reason that the button is failing is because it gets confused about where the end of the list is, and so as a result it blocks the button. I could have said inverse, but I like to be verbose with my LLMs. Like, if I get to say it, yeah, but like I said, input tokens are quite cheap. So if I can say it 3 times on the way in so that he doesn't have to give me 3 outputs on the way out. Yeah, sometimes it's like, you know, what is it they say? 70% of all communication is ignored or not heard, or, you know, doesn't get computed by the brain. So that's why everybody says things 3 times. So I'd say scuffedepoch.com. That's the website you want to go to, scuffedepoch.com, the website I run. Don't forget to go to scuffedepoch.com. And everyone's like, why did you just say it 3 times? And it's a psychological thing. We have to hear it 3 times, because the chances are 2 out of 3 people missed it both first times. Maybe I'm being, like, that wasn't subtle, okay, but I was obviously exaggerating, but yeah. Okay. It's funny, all I'm trying to do is get to a pristine point, and then I can do the last part of tonight's show. It's funny, they've got me edging. I'm like, I'm on my seat now going, when will it get there? It might never get there. I might have to cut my losses. In fact, I was going to do a piece about that the other day. I was working on a piece of software, and I think I was like $10 into it, and I thought to myself, it's been trying to do the same thing. And I just said, nope, that's the end of it. No more. Because it would have been quicker just to start again. I think there's like a point where it would have been quicker just to start again. Like I say. No valid files found. Yep, that's because I clicked the wrong thing. There we go, creating backup. Good, he's got it. Right, how are we doing on buttons? He still can't do the buttons, guys. He still can't do the buttons. That's hilarious. Is it because there's something over the button, maybe? Is there something? Because there's nothing there now. Weird. Well, I don't care. I've got arrow keys, so I don't care now. So I'm just going to continue. All right? Because if I had to, I'd just remove the damn buttons. If the arrow keys work, what do I need the buttons for anyway? So let's just keep going. Stupid, right? Why do the buttons not work? I don't like it. But for the purposes of demonstration, this is enough. We can continue. So reject that, plan that, close that. Right, cool. So this is the plan, right? Remember? So we've got our plan. We've got our tins readme, which doesn't really need to be there, but... And then we've got our HTML file. There's nothing else there, really. That's all we've got, 3 files. So, I'm going to say... we can prepare to create the Electron version of my Caption editing system named Captioneer. All right. More information about the functions. Functions are inside at readme, and the original plan. Come on, mates. At the original plan is written here. What was it? Original plan, which was used to create the prototype web layout and initial functions. The tool is functional in its current state. We can migrate this to Electron for Windows GUI portable build distribution. Yeah, just say it'll be expensive in 3 different ways without breathing. That'll get people's attention. Hang on. Okay. Plan for converting Captioneer to Electron. After analyzing your files, I can see you have a fully functional web application that uses File System Access API to manage image caption pairs. Converting this to Electron create a standalone Windows application while preserving current functionality. Alpine. Responsive theme. New Electron project, set it up, configure it for portable. Core application, move the HTML, replace the browser with the Node.js. This will remove browser compatibility limitations. Hurrah! It might even be that was what was stopping the next button from working. I tried giving him a workaround, but it didn't actually remove the logic, you see. So I don't know what the hell. I tried, you know what I mean? I tried to throw him a bone, man, but he did something else with it, so that's okay. That's why I don't normally try to pull them out, you know? Just bad seed, keep going, do the prompt again. That's another reason why I do the plan thing, by the way, because you can just immediately kill the chat and start again. It doesn't take you seconds, it takes a second. That's why I go with that kind of style, where we're just running off of that a lot of the time. Yeah. OS menu, proper window management, drag and drop. Oof, I don't want drag and drop, but fine. Application icons and branding. Architecture looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Uses browser's file system access API. Oh, yeah, great. Key differences. Yeah. Would you like me to proceed with this plan? Look at it with the giant bold. Yes, you go for it, my guy. All in all, good result. Oh, it's time to initiate Electron. Are you ready? What a colourful metaphor Dragon has for us. Indeed. Indeed, Mr. Dragon, indeed. I do like me a colourful metaphor. Neapolitan? Ah, look, this is what I was talking about earlier. Check it out. So, RimRaf is not supported prior to version 4, and we're trying to use 2.6 and 3. Glob is not supported after version 9, and we were trying to use 7.2 and 8.1. You see what I mean? And I've got I think I've got a document somewhere on LRU cache. You can look it up. A company called Modal did a whole help guide on how to fix LRU, you know, because in-flight's no longer supported. It's funny how much changes in only a year or two, right? But yeah, I mean, it'll still build. These are just warnings, right? But obviously, it's a good idea to solve warnings. But it will build, and you can use it, so... Okay, so it's going to keep going. And eventually it'll actually get to the point of finishing the build. Like I said, that can take some time. I mean, it might be finished in a minute, it might be finished in 20 minutes, it could take an hour, it depends how big the app is. I mean, I don't think there was really much in this app, to be honest, so it shouldn't take long, but all it really was having a working app, having it loaded in VS Code like this, and, you know, testing that it works, and then going, make this into Electron, please. And if you get a good seed, as they say, it'll come out nice. And again, test it. If it works, do the build. And then you should have an exe or an installer, depending on what option you pick. And to be honest, if you try to do the build and it doesn't work, like it's not signing or whatever, try just closing VS Code reopen VS Code with administrator, you know, so go to the start menu, type VS Code, right click and say run as administrator, because the build stuff does require administrator because you're like writing files to the hard drive and all. So, you know, that's a nice tip, because like I said, the funny thing is I didn't even think of it. And Claude developed his way around it, and he just made his own signing tool that didn't use the signing or something, you know. He made his own. I was like, what? And then I was trying to show everybody about it yesterday, and I was showing everybody what he did, and then I was like, hang on a minute, because I was showing everybody how to do it, and I was like, but you don't need to do it, because you just run VS Code with administrator, and then it will build. Because it even said in the log, I can't build because you don't have the required elevation. I was like, I haven't seen that since Windows Vista. Yeah. Look, he's making the website again. What are you doing? Why is he making the website again? He's adapting it for Electron, guys. So we're actually developing out the TINS version for this one. Got any more? Have you got any more to make? You haven't done package JSON yet. Render a JS. Oh, okay. I thought we already made that. We made the render a folder. Yeah. I'm like, you know, curious to see if he can actually get her done. Fernicar says there will be a time when the LLM will adapt to its future. Skynet. I think until Skynet is cheaper than people who will work for minimum wage and can be replaced like on a dime, I don't think that no, I don't think there's any real threat. Like, they have to make, until the GPUs are like cheaper than your mobile phone, like cheaper than that, like you'd have to get a GPU down to like, I'm not even going to speculate, okay, because the chances are it'll happen next week. But what I'm trying to say is, like, at the moment, it's cheaper to hire people. It's just cheaper to hire people. Like, even if you said you had a robot that could do work of 100 people, when it breaks down, now you need 100 people to cover the robot. That's point number one, right? If a person doesn't come in sick, whatever, they just get cover. It's easy to get one person in to cover another person, and that's what managers do, right? But if you had like the whole company being run by robots, you're just a slave to the robot repairman. So you want to know what your next... Seriously, if you start seeing robots appearing in stores and stuff, you know the move. Robot repairman. That's the move. That's what I'd be thinking. Because I'd be thinking, well, someone's going to get all the call-out money. Okay. And if it's new, there won't be many people, so they'll be, like, gagging to train people up to get it done. The part of sharing. Interesting. Wait, what? Man, he's being super methodical about this. They just recycle it and put a new robot in its place. Well, if it was the Murderbot show, yes, which is a great show. I have been enjoying that. But the problem is, if you have some, like, here, let's say you pay $10,000 a year to a minimum wage employee, and you've got 100 of them. So that's $1 million then. So we've got this machine that's going to save you $1 million, pounds, whatever, right? Whatever currency. Because it does the work of 100 people. Okay? Genuinely. Let's just accept. It does the work of 100 people, right? Look, he's generating an icon. You cheeky bugger. So if you've got a robot that's doing the work of 100 people, right? Do you have any idea how expensive it's going to be? Because think about it. If you don't sell, let's say, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to undercut humans 50%. That robot's now worth $500,000 for a year on lease. $500,000 a year on lease. You just saved half by leasing this robot for $500K. You will save $500K on salary this year just on that machine. That's such a huge saving. Like, they won't get sold for cheaper is what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're a robot company making these robots, you're not going to sell them for cheaper. He says you have to multiply by 3, says Dom. See, I like Dom's thought here. I like your thought pattern there, Dom. I think he's actually right. Not sustainable. I just mean, like, they're not going to leave money on the table, because when the robot thing happens, it's going to be like, it's going to be like AI now. It's going to be it'll be the new big bubble that everyone will be trying to, Apple will be piling money in, Google piles money in, Amazon, everyone will be throwing money at this black hole called robots. That's what, when it actually, you know what I mean? And Dom's absolutely right. We'd have to multiply everything by 3, because, yeah. That's the rule. Right, npm start. Let's see if it works, guys. Hey, we have a Windows program. Should we see if it works? Look, it looks the same. Don't you think that's cool? I wonder if the buttons work, though. No. Nope. Okay, so I can put in a dataset path, though. So, okay, so I can't click the button. That's bug number 1. Why are all of these the same folder? I blow my own mind sometimes. So I need to go to the downloads folder. Pit Tower. That's a good dataset. We can use that. Put that there. Load. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it do nothing. So, okay, can we open dataset folder? Yes. Yeah, it's not loading files. Okay. It's a good start, though. It looks good. Yes, true. The tins may have something to do with the placeholder, yes. Yeah, just about to say cool. Yeah, like, oh yeah, it finally works. Wait, let's build a thing. No. We're not building this one. You big melon. Okay, we cannot build our app because it cannot load the dataset using the path. No images or text can be displayed because the load button. Why has it even got a load button? It's like you pick the thing. Why has it got a load button? It's almost like steampunk application design, where there are like 5 or 6 buttons and dials that you have to operate to click OK. You can't just click OK. You have to twist this, set that, click this, flip that switch, and then that is like it, and then you can click OK. Why? Because we can. Because the AI wrote the code, and we just make it more complicated because you can. It's opulent. Yes, implement all the placeholder to production. Yes. That's actually a good idea. So let's have a look and see this. What's he saying? Context isolation enabled. This won't work. Crap, I never even thought of that. Huh. Huh. It could be easier if DevTools was enabled. It's going to add a bunch of error handling so you can read the error logs. That's another tip as well. If you're having trouble trying to figure out why a vibe code app won't run or something's not working right, ask him to put in more debug information in the console logs, and then he can read his own errors to identify his own problem and fix it. It works really well. So if you're really stuck, tell him to put more debug logging in the app. So then when you run it, it'll give you something. Yeah, debug and self-testing is great. Do you know, I don't normally let him use the browser, but it just looked cool tonight when they were like racing each other to let them both use the browser. But it's actually very expensive and slow. It's quicker to reject or disable the permission for that and just open the web page and try to use it. Because although he can open and click things, he can't like load a folder and do advanced stuff. So the test gives you false positives a lot. It's cool for basics, but if you're doing something complicated or specific, it's not good. Not good. I got 5 minutes until I got to pull the ejection cord, guys. Technically, I'm on a business park, so they do have hours. Security will be like, someone's broken in to that office over there because it's midnight and the lights are on. So yeah, I'll have to evaporate into a cloud of smoke very quickly. Or steam if you prefer. What's funny about this though is that we actually have had a website up. There's a website version of the tool that we're building right now. It's up and running on scuffedepoch.com/captioneer. Does it work? Maybe. Maybe. Let's update main to enable DevTools. Let's run it again. Right, here we go. It's the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. We even have the dev thing running. Come on then. Can't load? Can't open? Not a good sign, guys. Don't worry, it could be redundant UI. Load? That's not good. That's not good. You can't really do anything if you can't load anything. Nope. Plan. We are unable to load data sets. The file dialog and the what is it? Path entry. The load button seems to be inoperative. Inoperative's a great word. It's a great word. Inoperative. Car inoperative. What, I just set your Alexa off, did I? I don't even know what the magic word is. Abracadabra? Open sesame? All right, I'm not going to let you, I'm not going to force you to come the struggle session. That is bashing it over the head and threatening it with being fired until it actually does its job. Basically, it's screwed something up. It will eventually fix it. It's probably fixed. Like I said, it combs through, right? And like I said, we've spent $1.1, so it's not like breaking the bank either. That's a very important thing to mention. It's a great time to learn AI. Yeah, the models are going to get better. And yeah, they're going to be more expensive. So the longer you wait, the more you're going to spend. That's the reality. Yeah. Dragon says, my fractals in Comfy are really good now. I'm glad to hear it. Fractals are a beautiful thing. All right, so while he continues with his nonsense, yeah, I am going to set my machine to do a bunch more, like I said I would earlier. But pretty much that's it, guys. We're out of here. I'm pulling the plug. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to like the stream. And as always, I'll see you next time.
I prefer what the yeah, that's the egg.